Hello, this is more of a ramble for the concept. I will have some better videos in the future describing it, but for now, hopefully you enjoy I'll call it the long elevator pitch. Hello, I am Tiktaalik Lord, and today we're going to do something that you've never seen before on YouTube. Yes, a speculative evolution seed world concept, but this time mine has big farm. I have always loved speculative evolution, from the Dragons documentary to All Tomorrows to even more obscure things like Man After Man. Love that one. But one thing I've always been interested in is the effects that humans have on the environment. If this is your first time watching a video about Seed World speculative evolution, go find a better video and come back to this, or continue and have this warp your opinion. Speculative evolution seed worlds are basically a planet with little or no life, and Earth organisms are typically transplanted onto this planet and allowed to evolve independently without pressures that they have on Earth. Serena is a great example, and to be honest, the best example in our world as a good base is the Galapagos Islands. That, but just planet-sized. And this is more of a way to help people understand how crazy evolution can get. And a fun thought experiment to see how accurate your science is. And in this series, hopefully, if I make any mistakes about the science, please ping me non-stop, as I want to make this as intriguing and fun as possible. I'll see it as a challenge if you don't allow my new Raptor OC to exist. I'll make it exist. You can't stop me. This seed world will be mainly focused around battery farming, but also other more intense ways of agriculture. A battery farm is basically an intense system of farming where a large number of animals are kept in small, confined spaces to maximize production and efficiency. For example, chickens are very common for battery farms. I want to theorize how animals would change and adapt when they're put in these more stressful and almost, to be honest, cruel scenarios. How evolution would warp animals during the stewardship of humanity, and also after, when we disappear, what these leftover orphans will look like. The animals utilized will be typically animals used in farming. Chickens, turkey, cattle, and pigs are some of the most important ones, but there will be other ones like crickets and varieties of fish being utilized for aquaculture, as well as typical bacteria and also plants found in farms to try and simulate how this environment would look on this barren world, and eventually, after the human and technological systems break down, how these animals will evolve and adapt on this planet, as well as how they would adapt within these confined structures as well. Now we've got most of that sorted, I'll explain and go deeper into different elements of that in future videos. Time for the lore. Surveyors have been sent out and have found a small Mercury-sized planet orbiting a solar system very similar to Earth. It is slightly outside of the Goldilocks zone compared to Earth. We have discovered a thriving ecosystem, but through records of these sunken megastructures, we discovered that this was a massive illegal farming facility. Many of the practices had been made illegal at their time, but due to the demand for rare products, as well as a planet that was able to be utilized for other nefarious means, it was found that the planet was named Nergal, supposedly after a Mesopotamian god of disease. The facility was operable for a significant amount of time, allowing these colossal farming facilities to grow across the planet, allowing the creation of a ozone layer and atmosphere. But at the end of human habitation, it is believed that a dangerous zoonotic disease spread across the planet, killing most human life on it. But while the human population disappeared, the self-reliant and self-repairing technologies kept with the routine left by the once caretakers of the facility. Eventually, it was predicted that these machines would only last for 5 million years of maintenance before becoming fully inoperable, but in the meantime, the animal life surviving on this planet evolved and adapted to this hellish slaughterhouse of a world. Well, that was rough. But yeah, the whole kind of concept of this series will be kind of how animals would evolve when put into strenuous environments by humanity and how they change and adapt to these environments. Very inspired of All Tomorrows. To be honest, this would be kind of a more horror-based concept in a very horrible environment. This series is not only a fun entertainment and thought experiment for me, but also educate me and hopefully maybe some of you in the future more about more cruel ways of farming and how that affects animals and kind of theorizing how that would look in the long run. But this series will not only focus on animals, I will try and do a bit of botany, but a very important aspect to these environments and something that is always relevant, I think, in our society are diseases, parasites, and especially zoonotic diseases. If that all seems cool to you, and if hopefully you would like to see a series with hopefully I improve more with not just the editing but also my scripting. To be honest, I'm not scripting right now, you can probably tell. Please join. Put a like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you would want and what you would like to see. And if you've watched through this video, thank you so much. And you should watch my other videos if you know you're from the future and I make them. If I do, I don't know, comment something if this continues. See you later, have a good day or night, and try something different.